Hello. This is Paul again, and I'm with.
Jetske.
This is our Life in Two Country podcast, and we want to thank all of you who watched our first episode, and we're so happy,
Yeah.
to be with you again in
Yeah.
this episode, the second episode.
Thanks for listening. And today we're going to talk about the expectations versus the reality when we went to each other country.
Yes, that's very true, and we will be starting with Jetske today. You can let us know what were your expectations the time before you came to Uganda and the time you're in Uganda. Yeah?
Yes. Well, I will tell it a little bit like expectation versus what I discovered,
Or what you had in mind.
what I experienced. Sorry. First of all, I went in a program before I came to Uganda. I came in Uganda in 2014 with my study, and because of I want to study abroad, we had to follow a special subject about it. And that subject prepared me like nobody. I think I was over prepared. Because also I went with a volunteering organization, and that organization also had preparations. So it has another program. So I followed two programs at the same time who were preparing me for going abroad.
That was good.
Somehow, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good, but I came over prepared. For example, I came with a first aid kit. Well, I think main doctor will be jealous of me because I had insane much things with me. But one of the things that they told me was the different way of talking. That a lot of cultures which are not the Western culture has a different way of going to each other, like saying hello or start a conversation. And they warned me like, yeah, they can't handle the Dutch, how do you say that? The
Accent.
Dutch. No, not really the Dutch accent, but the way Dutch react. We are too direct. So we make a lot of jokes, we have a lot of sarcasm, we take ourselves not too serious, and we are really direct. If you say to me, for example, I have to go to the toilet, then I say, oh, have fun, or something. Or I make like a bad joke about it. So that is really something Dutch. Me, myself, I am also, I have a big mouth. I just talk everything. I don't care what people think of me. I say everything I think. So I was a little bit afraid coming to Uganda. I thought, oh my goodness, I have to think so much about what I'm going to say, that I'm not going to be too direct, that I will be too polite, because I didn't want to offend anyone. Then I realized Ugandans also got a little bit that sense of humor that Dutch people also have. And that was such a big release for me. I think it helped already that I couldn't speak really good English by that time, so I had to think already twice before I said something. That helps a lot. But I had so many nice jokes and conversations, especially with the woman, that I felt so comfortable, that I could be myself.
She was in your project or in the guest house where you were staying?
No, in the project with like Ugandan women.
Okay.
So that was really nice. They could just joke about and also talk about guys and stuff, joking around. And I didn't expect that. I thought that that was like a big no-go to talk about with
Ugandans. You think Ugandans, they are like chicken, they don't love each other.
No, I don't know what I
sex
thought.
like chickens.
Yeah, I was just afraid. I don't know.
Oh, we are aliens.
No, but sometimes it is in different cultures you just don't talk about everything. And still, of course, when you start a conversation in Uganda, you always start with, hey, how are you? Before you, it's just something fun in the gym happened once. I just want to ask someone if they still use the weights or not. So I just went, being Dutch, and say, hey, are you still using that weight? And then he said, hello, madam, how are you? And I said, I'm fine, how are you? No, I'm not using that weights. You can use them. So that is typical something Dutch. We just directly ask things. But apart from that, I can be 100% myself with jokes and everything.
Okay.
So that was one of the, I had three things. The second was, I think I had actually in mind, I don't want to say that I had in mind that the whole country was poor, but I had in mind that there was a big poor population. And I never forget, they said from the volunteering organization, they said to me, you're going to work with kids with HIV. And then the man said to me from the organization, he was Dutch, he said, well, Jetske, and then in the weekend you can maybe go to the sauna, get a massage. And I was totally in shock. I said, no, of course I'm not going to do that, because why would I work with people who live on the street and the next weekend I'm in the sauna enjoying my rich life? And then he said to me, and I'm really laughing about it now, he said, so at home you're also not going to go to the sauna anymore, or taking a warm shower, or going to a toilet that can flush. And then I looked the man in the eyes and I was like, yeah, well, of course I will do that. So I think at first, like in 2014, I was still struggling with myself I didn't want to show off, but I also didn't want to be, how do you say that? I was maybe more a volunteer than I wanted to be, if you know what I mean. And of course, after those years, like especially in 2022 and the last few times, I'm now more looking after like how I dress, and because all these women in Uganda, they fix their nails, their hair, their dress, they all look amazing. So I didn't want to look like a street rat again and look nice. So I learned that as well.
How did you manage the challenge of having no running water in the house and no electricity sometimes? Because sometimes the power goes off and
the water
also
goes
no running water in the toilets and the bathroom.
Yeah, well, actually, I realized how soon you get used to those things. And I never forget that I was there and like the power went off by that time like 3 times a day sometimes, or sometimes even a full day. And then indeed when the power went off, the water went off as well. And there was no hot water in the house. So there was no switch that you can switch on the shower to hot. So it was cold showers. Well, I couldn't handle the cold showers. I just stand next to the shower and just washed myself, kind of. And I had to wash myself once with a basket. Then I really realized how much water I normally use. Because I just realized, Jesus, I can just wash myself with just a small basket and then I'm clean as well. But the power, it was something, like I said, you get used to it and you know, okay, the power is off, okay, let's go. It was like, because you all of it and you had like, we were with a big group in the guest house, then it was like almost a party when the power went off. Then someone shouted, the power is on! Yeah, the power is on! And then we were so excited of power that went on. And also when we went to a restaurant which was more luxury, or at least had the flushing toilets, we were all shouting, we have to go to the toilet because this toilet flush. And then it was like a special thing. But now, of course, like I said, the last times I just went with my luxury butt to all the flushy toilets. And now I have to admit that when we go to a place that doesn't have flushy toilets or something, which is not really common, but if we have, I have to really switch my mind like, oh, they don't have a flushy toilet here. And then I realized like, oh, come on, Jetske, you did it in 2014 for 4 months. Don't be spoiled. come on.
That's true.
So, yeah, like I said, you get used to those things.
And the last one was?
Well, everyone would tell me, Jetske, if you're going to Uganda or abroad, you will have an amazing culture shock. There will be, it can't be like at the first day, but it can be like after a month, and then it will be a really much culture shock, and you want to go home, and you are freaked out. I was waiting for that for 4 months, it didn't happen. I feel so somehow adapted. I had one, but that was like the, how do you say that?
But you didn't see a lot I think the first time you were around town, the city. That's why the culture shock did happen to you in the very first beginning. Maybe if you went for a far project away in the village, it would be totally different.
Yeah, maybe.
But you walked around the town.
I think that was, and what also was helping is that I was in a guest house with other people from Europe.
Yeah.
And I think when you visit another country, even though like you now here in the Netherlands, then it's always nice to have people from your own country or your own continent who understand your culture and how it is to be in another culture.
That's true.
Maybe that's a nice bridge to go to you in the Netherlands.
Okay. That was Jetske's expectation by the time we came to Uganda. So, I hope you like and keep on sharing. The next episode it's going to be Paul's expectations. So, stay tuned and keep it up.